everybody, welcome to our seminar, Introduction to Dual Vocational Education and Training. My name is Klaus Jaissle and I come from Germany. I'm an IDVET expert, and what IDVET is, I will explain you in this seminar. There are more seminars coming up here, and I welcome you to join us in the next modules when we explain more about the Dual Vocational Education and Training System. I'm working for the Bildungswerk der Baden-Württembergischen Wirtschaft. What is that? We are the education and training organization of employers from Germany's southwest. Our state is called Baden-Württemberg. We were founded in 1971. We have around 700 employees. We work with different branches together. We have 3 training centers in our state where people can come and join seminars, not only doing online, but really practical. We qualify every year approximately 60,000 people, and we have a lot of companies cooperating with us every year. Our competencies in the Bildungswerk are in the early age already. We are educating children and make them interesting for technical aspects in their lives. We do vocational orientation in schools, especially secondary schools. We do pre-vocational trainings, and we do IDVET. So we're preparing young people to join the IDVET system and also supporting them while they are in the dual vocational education training. We do continuous training. For example, we modulize the dual system for, let's say, older people, and we make it into small parts so that someone who is already in work can even then join a dual training and be qualified. We do organizational development, and we do HR services such as new placements, and we work in the international area. So if you think about 2 circles, just to show you a bit where we are working, if you think about 2 circles, and the one circle will be the education sector, like the schools, and the other circle will be the company sector, looking for people, for qualified people. And if you lay them across, you will find an intersection area, and in this area, that's our position, that's the place we're working, that's where we are needed, that's where we connect both sides and qualify both. I want to do a small exercise with you. Just go back in your lifetime and think about your school, your university time, your college time, and ask yourself and find answers for that. What did you like about your own school time? What was good there? What did you like? And the next question, because you think already about it, what was not so good there? What could have been better there in your school time, college, university time? What could have been better? And the third question, what did I learn for my job there? So what did you learn in school, in university, for the job you're doing today? And the fourth question will be, what did I learn after school on the job for my current job? So after school time, you did practical work, you worked, you've been in a job. So what did you learn in this job that you're using today now? And now try to solve those 4 questions, and the answers you found, bring them together and say, okay, what shall we keep in the education for the next generation, or what shall we change in our education system for the next generation so that they have it better, so they can be faster in their learning, in their progress. I want to show you a picture with two horizontal lines. The first line will be the traditional model. It starts with a secondary school, and depending on what country you are maybe between 10 or 12 years in secondary school. So then you go to a vocational school, university, and maybe you have a small time in the company, just a few weeks maybe, and then you are back in school and you finish, you make your degree, you graduate, and then you're in a job. So you see, it's very much based on school and very little on practical experience in company. So you think about the second model, it's the DVET model. After secondary school, you're not going to university or to a traditional vocational school. You go to a company. Okay, but you're not just working in company, you're learning, you're apprentice in the company, and you be part-time in school, and then you're part-time in company. And so you always shift between company and school. So after your time there, let's say 3 years, you are already a very qualified worker. So you're not starting very low, like in the first traditional model. After school you have no practical experience. In our model, the DVET model, you are qualified. You are really good qualified already after your school time, and you start into the job. It's not new for you. You know what you experienced there, and you know what you learned. And so this is really good start into a new area of your life. We will show you why we think this is really good. Let me give you a small definition of the DVET. It's a practical in-company training at a company or at an intercompany training facility, linked in content and timing with a professional, theoretical and general education at a vocational school. Long and complicated, so let us split off this sentence a bit so that you understand better what we mean. Linked in content. Apprentices are following a structured training plan that is applied in school as well as in a company. What is timing? School and company alternate as earning spaces. Like I said, you're part-time in company and a part-time in school. Practical in company. The activities in the company should be practical. Theory is more in school, practical side is more in the company. Training. Training means it's not just work. So apprentice is not a cheap worker. We need some instruments to make sure that apprentices are really learners that really learn something. In company or training facility. In some cases, the practical training can also take place in joint learning spaces of different companies. So if you don't have everything to offer in your company, all the skills, so you may join with another company to qualify your apprentice fully. With a professional, theoretical and general education at a vocational school. The school covers content that is difficult to learn on the job. Company and school complement each other. When did we start with the dual system? It goes back to the Middle Ages. In Europe, in Germany, we had the guilds, craftsmen associations, and they regulated technical formations. We have different traditions out of these different guilds, so you still can recognize sometimes people on their clothing. They have traditions in the way how they work with their tools. And craftsmen, if they are finished with their education, they have to deliver a high quality piece so that they can have the title. In the 19th and 20th century, many people left school and went for a training but they really could not read and write well. So during the training time, companies and the government discovered we still have to qualify those people more in basic skills, also in understanding businesses, in understanding maybe healthcare. And they started to bring up a cooperation between the company and the government school. So they complete each other. That's a step further on to the dual vocational education training. Nowadays, in the 21st century, dual training is offered in many trades that did not exist 100 years ago, and it will still continue. We talked already about the different partners. We have talked about the school, we have talked about the company, and in the middle of both there stands the apprentice and its parents. Why the parents? Because parents take a very big important part in the vocational orientation of young people. So if parents know about the possibilities after secondary school, on the one side maybe studying, going to university, and the other possible way going into dual vocational training, parents can support their children in their next step. So working together of those three partners is really important. Let's look a bit about a school, Vocational Education Training School. This school is cooperating with a company, and so they make it a dual system. There are different models, and I show you just some examples. One model will be you go for 4 days into the company, 4 days a week you go to company, and 1 day you go to school. Or next model will be you go for a longer period of time into the company, couple of weeks, 15, 20 weeks maybe, and then you go for 5, 4, 6 weeks to the school. So it's always combined with each other. The school knows when the student is coming, the company knows when it has to let go the apprentice to school, and also what they do in the school and what they do in the company, they are connected with each other. A next model would be you go for 3 months to do a university. So you see there are also universities involved in the dual system, and then you go for 3 months to company. So it's always based on the company side. Company is the really important part, because company makes a contract with the apprentice, and then the next step will be the school. There are different other models possible depending always on the situation where the company is in, depending on school possibilities. Different models are possible. Those are just some examples for you. The parents, the apprentice. For me, it was really important in my time as a young man, after leaving school, to be supported by my parents. So I did a dual vocational training in industry mechanic. That was my first step. I didn't know what's coming afterwards, but I knew that there are possibilities to qualify myself more, to reach a higher level. So when I started 35 years ago in this training, I gained now a lot of experience. And the way to earn money is not really longer than if you go to university. Even you can start earlier earning money and then still qualify higher. Let's look at the third partner. It's the company. The company is really important in the dual system. Otherwise, we could not raise this system. The companies, they need people, qualified, motivated young people. And so they're always looking for these resources. There's some questions the company is asking themselves. First, what personal requirement does my company have? Second, how do I find the right talent apprentices? like going to school and finding people there. But it's an extra seminar. We will show you this later on. What DVET model will work with what DVET school? Like I explained before, different models possible. How to organize the DVET training time? Who is responsible in company? Where are facilities that people can use? Where are tools? How do we organize the whole thing? And fifth, very important to think about that, after passing the final exams, how can I retain my skilled and motivated apprentice? Me, as a company owner, I will keep my good qualified apprentices in the company. So what can I do in advance already to make my company attractive, so that apprentice will feels welcome there and will stay in my company? I want to give you a bit of picture about about Germany. We have around 83 million people living in Germany. Our life expectancy is around 82 years. And the German area, the German country, exists out of 16 different states. So maybe if you remember the German history a bit, we were divided after the Second World War in East and West Germany. And 30 years ago, we were united. And so altogether of us, we are the 16 states. And every state is a bit different. Also about the dual vocational system. We have 78 chambers of commerce, and the chambers are important in the background, they're not so much seen by the parents or by the apprentices, but they're important for the companies because they do a lot of law things, they do a lot of contract things in the background work. The system in Germany of education, I give you a small overview with a picture which is, you don't have to understand that picture, just want to show you a bit of many ways and possibilities to qualify yourself higher and higher. So if you start at the primary level, you come up to a secondary, and you see already there are different possibilities with yellow signed. If you go to the next step, territory area, it's the green part, you see there are even more, and if you go to quaternary area, it's so wide, so many possibilities. So German system in education and education system in vocational trainings is really big. In Germany we have around 326 recognized occupations for apprenticeships. They're always varied a bit, there are new coming up, there are old ones are retiring, but around 326 recognized occupations. And most of them are trained in the dual system. So I show you a bit about differences between the boys and the girls, because some professions are very popular on the boy side. So everything that has to do with cars or with trucks, with industry mechanic, with electronics and so on, is very popular on the boy side. So if you look at the girl side, there's more selling or business, a dentist or in the medical area, maybe also hairdresser, banking, hotel. So there's a bit of difference between boys and girls. In the year 2019, over 500,000 young people have started their apprenticeship. So it's every year coming up around 500,000 new people starting with a dual training. If you look at a map of Europe and you look at the youth unemployment there, you will see many countries are orange or deeply red. So if you look at Spain, we have around 38% of youth unemployment, Italy 34%, or in Greece there are more than 40% of the young people are unemployed. if you look at the green countries, you will see Germany is one of the green countries with less than 7% of youth unemployment. Also Switzerland and Austria. You see some countries have a really low rate of youth unemployment, and that stands directly together with the dual vocational education and training. So I'm happy to make this seminar with you together. The first module, we'll have more modules with you, and I'm happy to see you in the next modules. Some of my colleagues will wait for you there, and I'm happy to see you again.